was your conversation with Rojas just before Kratz came up?
He was just trying to, tell me to, settle in, try to get a ground ball double play. Kratz was up there, and obviously he's a catcher, not great speed. So I was one pitch away from getting out of it, but I can't walk the leadoff guy. That puts me in a hole right away. So that's my fault. For put myself in a bad situation right away to start the inning.
You said you felt like you didn't have anything there today. Is that unusual for how you felt in outings this year? Obviously, you were back-to-back today, but is that something that was kind of new today for you?
It was just a bad day. I can't really point it to anything, but I just felt right away like I didn't really have much, and I was out there, trying to battle.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Tim Healy.
Did you express to Luis that you felt like you didn't have anything?
No. I mean, at that point, I'm trying to get my job done. I mean, like I said, he told me I was a pitch away. I'm thinking ground ball, double play there. And that second pitch just kind of got away from me a little bit. When they were trying to bunt, and obviously, I know I can get out of the situation, but it's just bad putting myself in that. Like, I can't keep doing that, just giving free base pass. It's cost me a lot this year, and I can't keep doing that.
If you could take a step back from today specifically and think about your year as a whole, the new team coming back from injury, weird schedule, how would you evaluate just kind of your month plus of season so far?
It's just been, how can I put it? I feel like I've hurt myself more than anything, by, like putting guys on, not being able to maybe, execute a good pitch ahead in the count. But the free base passes hurt me, the games that I've pitched. And I've given up runs has been because of that. And anytime you do that, and obviously, for me, I haven't really been putting guys away as I want to with 2 strikes. So anytime you get free base pass, it's not going to help you as a pitcher. And that's what happened today. I walked the leadoff guy, and that's the guy that scores.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Disha.
Hey, Dellin. My question's actually similar to Tim's. It's just how frustrating have these past outings for you been, and has it just been tougher for you to bounce back generally into before the next outing?
I would have to look back at the games, to be honest with you. Today, I just didn't have it. But for me, I've been trying to find that consistency. There's games that I felt really good. And then there's been a couple games that, I haven't done my job, and, I got to be better than that.
Thanks.
Dellin, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
No problem.
Luis, what is your level of concern with Betances, specifically on the second game of back-to-backs? It seems like his velocity dips. It was, about 3 miles per hour down today from yesterday. What are you seeing, and how concerned are you?
I haven't been concerned with any of these guys. As you guys know, like the process of this season, we're in the 30-game mark, but it's you're working with basically a first month of play that these guys are used to do in the past, and their build-ups, they're throwing back-to-back, they even throw in the 3 days in a row. Those are some of the things that start happening as the season evolves. So when they respond different ways, on back-to-back days, and it really doesn't concern me. It's more so, the build-up, what they can do as far as like getting out, and if they're healthy out there, they can compete. That's one of the things I do pay attention to. So really not concerned about any of the other reads if there's like 1 mile or 2 miles down. But more so, with the command and coming into attacking batter. So, for him coming in and walking the first batter, that's kind of like what was the case that built up today, for them. got the strikeout and then the bloop single that led to, the first and third situation and all that. So that's basically what I look at as far as for the guys when they're doing the back-to-back or even three in a row, which is, probably going to start doing that soon.
He said that he felt like he just didn't have anything out there today. Is that something that you could tell from your vantage point early on when he came on? And, at any point did you start to think, I need to maybe, get somebody up behind him and make a switch here?
No, I didn't think of getting anyone up at the moment. I saw that he was pulling his fastball, and I mean he was even trying to correct himself. You could see that he was like trying to almost get a feel of his release point when he pulled those fastballs away to the extension side. And I know he's a guy that he's found stuff throughout outings, and he's told me before like, hey, I found it, and he's also told me before like, hey, yeah, I got a little gas in the middle of the inning there. So he's always going to tell you what he felt out there. But for me, in my eyes, what I saw, he was just trying to get that release point adjusted so he can command and throw the ball with the plate and get hitters to commit to swing to his stuff. So but we were sticking with Dellin. When Dellin's pitch in big situations, he can get big outs, and we had confidence that he could have gotten out of that situation there as well.
Next question comes from Tony DeComo.
Hi, Louis. Why did you decide to go out to the mound personally in the ninth as opposed to sending Hefner?
No, in that situation, as a manager, I want to come out and make sure I talk to the infielders, make sure that everyone's on the same page and what type of defense we're going to have in the infield, just to get out of that situation, get out of the inning, and having cracks at the plate and so many different things that can happen. We can put the ball on the ground, get a double play. There's a slow roller, and there's only one out on the play. We choose to go to home, or there's a potential of a safety squeeze, which he attempted. So different things that we got to talk, making sure that everyone's on the same page. So as a manager in that situation, I feel that I got to go out and make sure that we're on the same page and we're thinking the same, and we're heads up. We're aware. We're anticipating that anything that can come up. And we want to prevent it.
And also, how are Matz and JD?
Matz, he came out of the game due to an injury. Shoulder discomfort. We didn't feel good about him going back. We right now I haven't seen him after the game. I just saw him in between innings after he finished the inning. He threw the ball well, but he just didn't feel right. So we removed him because of that. So we will reassess more about what's going on. But it's a shoulder discomfort. And with JD, he hit him like in a funny bone, 98-mile-per-hour fastball, and it hit him kind of like in a hip bone there. And but it was one of those that numbs you a little bit. But then when he went away, and he told me that he was okay. So he's right now he's good. Let's see how he is tomorrow. But he stated that he was good at the moment.
Does that feel like an IL situation for Matz?
It feels like that. I mean, let's wait, but just to see that. With him, it feels like that. I mean, ever since we had the break of the five days, and he started to feel some things there, but we've been coaches with him. He's in between, let's say, outing routine and stuff, and he felt good today to go. But after the inning, that wasn't the case. So, we'll see where he's at, but. Just coming after that inning was definitely an injury. That's why I went to the umpire and I told him that we needed extra pitches with Hughes because Hughes wasn't going to get the time to get warm up.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Tim Healy.
Gsellman looked more comfortable, more effective today. What was different for him this time?
Command. I mean, his command was definitely a lot better. I mean, that solid command and the commitment that he creates for the batters to swing on his stuff and swing misses on fastballs and slider was good. I mean, he threw really good pitches. Change up everything. He mixed well, kept the ball down effectively. He pitched up effectively too. So threw the ball really well. As you guys, I think I said before the game that he can induce contact. So he had a really good pitch count going, I think, in the third inning. but at the same time, he struck out a couple of guys as well. But it's just a good outing. I'm glad he's starting to stretch out even more, and that's the way we know that G can throw the ball.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Disha Dozar.
Hey, Louis, what did you see from Brack today?
Back to back. I mean, we were talking about Dellin. He under the ball a little bit, a lot of elevated pitches for ball. But this guy's in a system like this. Once again, like he's a competitor. He had a big strikeout in a situation there. I think he pitched wisely to Mike Ford, who came to hit as a pinch hitter. Him and Ramos did a good job, just kind of like pitching around him or dotting outside outer corner. It wasn't the case. Ended up walking him, and that's when Familia came in and got a big out for us. But he battled through. He didn't have the command that he can have. He was kind of like under the ball a little bit, so almost like a ball out of his hand. But he grounded to get 2 outs for us, and back-to-back days, and he was one of the guys that joined the staff a little later. So he's kind of like in that build-up for the back-to-back days.
Like you said, it's just been back-to-back for some of these guys. How much are you feeling the impact of Seth Lugo going to the rotation when you try to manage that bullpen?
Well, it's a need with Seth. As you guys know, we've had some adversity in our rotation, and with Seth, to put him there and to start stretching him out, the same thing we're doing with G. It's one of our needs, and immediate, and we had to make a decision like that. So we feel that having Seth join the rotation and stretch him out and pitch the way he can pitch, he can definitely help us, shut down opposing offense and give us some length early in the game where we can score as a team and we can have a lead.
Next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Louis, all close games this weekend so far. What stood out to you most?
Well, the guys are leaving clutch, games, and whether offensively, defensively, a lot of clutch at bats. The homer by Ramos today, I think that's great. Different individuals have stepped up to either deliver a big hit or to either get a big out. Like Familia did today for us. Like Wilson came up and threw that 8th inning for us. 1 to 3. So it's good that different guys are living that experience. And as we're getting now close into September, last month of the season, and we're going to play a lot of tight games, battle games that we need to battle against our own division. So it's nice that the guys are experiencing those clutch games and clutch situations, and they start getting used to those, because I think we're gonna see plenty in the games that we have left.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Dan Martin.
Louis, just to clarify on Matt's, he was feeling something before today?
Yes, he was dealing after we came from the days that we didn't play, the 5 days that we didn't play. He threw and he felt something, so he started doing some treatment with him and just getting him back to his routine, to getting him back where he could throw, and he felt good. I mean, I think we shared with you guys that we did not intend to use him earlier in the week, just because that was the reason that Mats couldn't participate in the game. But he was good to go. He did his session and everything that he needed to do to keep him stretched out. Responded well, and then today came in the game and threw 1 inning facing batters, and after that inning he just told us that he had that shoulder discomfort. Told the trainer, and then he should that's when we learned that now we have to see what happens with him.
He's getting an MRI.
We'll reassess with that. I mean, right now I haven't even seen Matt ever since he left the dugout. So so we'll reassess with that.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Luis.
Have a good rest of the day.
Hey, Robert. Obviously, today was a big step forward. What were you able to do today positively?
Just stay over top of the rubber, slow myself down, and get the sinker sinking, forcing riding a little bit. I had some good pitches today, and I just got to build off that.
I know Louis talked a lot about just your command and how you threw longer bullpen sessions to try and stretch out in between. Aside from building up your pitch count that way, did the longer bullpen sessions also help you get that command back a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. It gave me time to work on some things. I mean, pitching, after the 9-10 days off isn't easy, but I was working on things and it's paying off. Just trying to try to do it again next time. Be consistent.
What has been the biggest challenge for you? I mean, you mentioned the 9-10 day layoff that a lot of you guys are dealing with right now, but obviously for you, it's been coming back from an injury, pitching out of the bullpen, then moving into the rotation, trying to stretch out, having a bit of an odd schedule. Just what is the greatest challenge to try and get right with all those other things that you have to deal with?
Usually it's just coming in and trying to get that routine, but now you really don't know what's in store the next day, so you just have to stay open-minded and stay ready and come in, prepare yourself the right way.
Next question comes from Tony.
Now that you've had a few starts, Rob, what has been the difficulty of stretching out during a season versus how you would normally stretch out in spring training?
Yeah, that's also not the easy part. I wish I go back to I had that summer camp, but I'm feeling good, and still want to build up and the right way and take it slow so I don't re-injure myself. But we're staying on the right track and doing the right thing.
Also, what did it do for you in the fourth inning to get 2 outs at home plate? You don't see that very often.
Just good team ball, that's good defense. Thanks for to the boys for having my back there, and great play.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Ed Coleman.
Hey, Robert. It looked like you had a little more carry on your pitches today. Did you have a little more life on your pitches, do you think?
It felt like it. Usually it happens when I stay over the rubber, so get to the top of my mechanics and stay on top of the ball. That usually happens. So just make it consistent and take it out there again next time.
Thank you for your time this afternoon, Robert.